guys, here we are again. It's like take probably like 100. We're just kidding. Anyways, I am Maridali Antron.
I'm Soy Sintron.
And we are, just kidding, we're doing a project for our class, Western Culture.
Our professor, Jose Javier Puig. We're students from the University of...
Antillian. We're not going to say where, just in case.
Yeah. And we are going to talk about homosexuality and compare it to ancient Greece and what you would see today in Greece as well.
Yes.
Though we're going to focus more on ancient Greece since, you know,
that's the
we'll
class.
do it out here and that.
Back then. Hope you like it. First of all, we kind of want to mention, like, you know, our points of, like, our beliefs, what we think. And as we're both Christian, and so we kind of believe what the Bible says. You know, we go forward to that. We don't believe in homosexuality, you know.
Same-sex marriage
exactly.
relationships. We are not against them, but our beliefs are.
I mean, they are still people. We love them, you know. I have family members that are homosexual, but I still don't agree.
You don't
with
agree
it.
with that?
You agreeing with it? Okay. So,
That's it.
some of the things we want to mention about homosexuality. One second. Oh, I just took a picture. Okay, the first thing we want to mention. The homosexual relationships were between an older man and a younger man, because it was, they saw the older man as, like, you know, a position of a high social status, as manliness, obviously, because, well, you're an adult, you're older. I mean, it's expected for a man to be manly. And they saw, and that was the active role in the relationship, and they saw the young man to be, you know, the passive role, to be submissive to the older man and to play what we would call like the feminine role in the relationship. And also it was due because of his low social status. What do you think about nowadays?
Versus today, 2016 in Greece, where, or even worldwide, such a young relationship or such a difference in age in any relationship, same sex or opposite sex, would be actually very frowned upon, and you could go to jail for statutory rape, depending on the age of consent of the country or the state that you are in, because they do vary by government. So while in Greece it was accepted, and it would be kind of like a rite of passage, I guess you could say, for the Greeks. In today's standards, you would have a very long prison sentence.
And another fun fact, that back then there were no labels. You know, like nowadays that someone's defined because of their social status or their sexual, like their preferred sexual orientation. Back then it was just, you know, you were with a man or a woman of your same sex or whatever. It was just a relationship, you know, you were with them. It wasn't, you weren't judged or criticized like they do nowadays, and there's so many laws and just like things against it.
And the age for the Greeks were 12, right? The young man would be
12.
around 12, and the age of the man would be sort of...
There was not really an age. They would kind of just stop whenever the boy would fully grow a beard, which is kind of sad, because, you know, if you didn't grow a beard, then, you know...
That would be an interesting predicament.
Yeah. You're still in.
Something that we weren't really able to find out, but it would be interesting to see what would happen there if they would continue the relationship And if not, I guess they would go their separate ways. But
yeah, it was if normally like we mentioned, they would stop the relationship when the boy was able to fully grow a beard. If it was not normal at all to see a man and man relationship, it was always man and boy. If they decided to continue with that, then
it was frowned upon.
Yeah, it was frowned upon, and then the man would then be considered more like of a feminine thing, They would kind of just like see him like less, I guess. Okay, started.
All right. Next point was that we both found was that the woman on her wedding day would actually dress as a male, and
but we have to do for men.
For a wedding transition from apparently this homosexual relationship that he had, and to transition him to having a opposite sex relationship.
Kind of make it easier, for the man to transition from homosexual to heterosexual love.
The woman would dress as a male.
They would. No. No. She would just go into a dark room and just dress as a male to make that transition a lot easier, which I find kind of.
Versus today, which would Greece be today, or the worldwide? How would that be taken?
I don't know. I mean, we were kind of shocked when we kind of.
To say the least. Guys.
When we read that, we were kind of shocked because, I mean,
even as open-minded, I feel, as the world has come to be today, I don't think it would be something that would be spoken of in polite company or in any company where you would, talk about dressing as a man for your husband so that he would be able to accept you better. Because
I think if your wife has to do that, then just stay with the man.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what was the point?
Yeah, I mean, even if it was a rite of passage and the male at one point needed, some form of transition to a female, sexual partner in today's age, as open-minded as we are, I mean, maybe people would kind of just blink, not really say anything, but even now, as open as we are, I don't think I think that'd still shock a lot of people, even if it was, like, acceptable back then.
The homosexuality back then, it mainly happened due to it was related to what is separation, the man being separated from the woman. That's where it mainly, came to be, because the man, I think it was from 13 to 30 years of age, they would have to be in the military. And so it would be all men, and that's when it would mainly happen. And also because any sports that were like, competitive sports like gymnastics, they would have wrestling and like other races and stuff like that, they would do it naked, which I learned the word gymnos means naked. Fun fact. There you go. And so yeah, that's really where homosexuality came to be, because of the fact that the man was separated from the woman at such an early age, and that's all it would be surrounded by were other men. So that's what happened.
The lesser of two evils, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I think we are done here.
They also didn't see anything wrong with it as a society, like you said, but
Well, I read some other articles that it was kind of like a taboo kind of thing, and it's still a subject that nowadays they really don't talk about it like that. And it's a normal thing between, you know, them, like the people that do it, but still, like, within the regular populations, you know, society and stuff, it's something that a lot of people don't kind of like agree with it and anything. So it kind of depends, I'm guessing, the area you might find yourself in or where they live in. According to that, then that's where they would consider it normal.
Plato. And Plato was actually
Well, there were a
pederastic
few.
apologist.
The word is pederastic apologist, which are the people that argued in defense of the homosexuals. There were quite a few Greeks. Plato is just the one that we found.
He's famous.
Yeah, he's famous for that. And even him, who was an apologetic, you know, he was like in defense of them. He found it to be disgusting and horrifying, the fact that, you know, the idea of a male penetrating another male, and he called it to be, what was it, against nature. And that kind of just brings us back, I feel like it brings us back to the beginning of the creation, where God created a man and woman to procreate. I don't think that would be possible, you know.
And so with Greek now, in 2016, the LGBT community is actually 14 in the world. They have 4 annual gay parades, with 2015 seeing the most number in Athens and 4 other city-states in southeastern Europe. And even the mayor of Athens attended.